Well, depending on where you are on the planet, we appreciate you joining us. Good morning or good evening, however it best fits. My name is Delano Roosevelt, and I'm the president and CEO of the U.S-Saudi Business Council. We're located in Washington, D.C. In case you don't know much about us, very quickly, we are a nonprofit organization. We've been here in existence for over a quarter of a century. And we have grown from an organization that was originally created by a relationship between the U.S. Department of Treasury and the Saudi Ministry of Finance for the purposes of introducing and engaging U.S. and Saudi businesses. We have, our mission has grown tremendously since then, and we'll touch on that a little bit later. But basically, our purpose is to find opportunities for U.S. and Saudi companies and enact on those opportunities and turn them into actual business cases for companies from both nations to grow and be successful. We're very pleased to have our guest speakers today. We have four expert authorities from our own council member company by the name of Proven. Proven provides a full menu of business services to companies entering or operating in the Saudi market. Their services include HR consulting, employee management, government services, compliance, tax and finance issues, all things that when you get down to, you know, the small print, these are all the things that are extremely important after you have determined that there is a great opportunity in the kingdom or in the United States for your companies to grow. Without expertise helping to guide you in these smaller areas, in the mechanics of it all, if you will, you're going to find that it will be challenging indeed. With us today, we have Khurram Shehzad, Business Development Director at Proven. We have Anita Chalke, Company Incorporation and Regional Manager. And yes, I am reading this because I don't want to mess up anybody's name. Anita works with Proven clients on corporate immigration and corporate expansion issues. Maha Ali is the legal manager. And finally, we have Adnan Alhusaiyan. He's the legal associate at Proven. The Proven team has prepared a very informative and practical presentation for your pleasure today that demonstrates the rapidly expanding sports and entertainment sectors in Saudi Arabia. This is important and indeed an important transformation aspect of the Vision 2030 that has been loosening restrictions in the area of entertainment in the kingdom, allowing for literally just unbridled expansion of sports activities, facilities for both spectators and individual sport participation. Massive investments are being made by the Saudi government in both sectors, in entertainment and sports, and new regulatory requirements are definitely involved. Those are all important details which our friends from Proven will be discussing in great detail today. Just a quick housekeeping note. I'm hoping and counting on the fact that all of you that are joining us today as guests will have some questions at the end, and you'll be able to find on the bottom of your screen a small little Q&A box that you can click on, type in your question, and I'll be sure and cover it. If for any reason we are going to go long on this, if your question does not get answered live, the U.S.-Saudi Business Council will follow up on your behalf, and we will get back to you with the answer to your question. So with that, Khurram, the floor is yours, as they say, and let's get talking about Proven.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Roosevelt, and welcome to all the participants. And well, as Mr. Roosevelt said, my name is Khurram Shehzad, and I'm a business development director at Proven. Well, traditionally, sports or entertainment are not the sectors which come to mind when you talk about Saudi Arabia. Well, not anymore. This notion is changing pretty fast as government is working with a proper dedication and a vision to make Saudi Arabia hub of sporting and entertainment ventures. Probably all of us know more about Saudi vision of 2030 and how government is trying to change its vision from a legacy oil-based economy to other sources of economy to get more boost into it. Sports and entertainment are one of the key focus areas as these ventures, of course, generate lots of tourism activity and a surge in economic activity and a lot of positive media attention. Well, can we have the slide, please? The next slide. All right. Now, there are some key facts or some fast facts about Saudi Arabia mentioned on this slide. Saudi Arabia is the only G20 country or a G20 member country in Middle East and North African region. And the approximate GDP of Saudi Arabia is around 790 billion USD. Saudi Arabia possesses 25% of world oil reserves. While, as I mentioned, since the government is looking to divert its GDP and boost its GDP through other sources, they have a plan to move by 2030 to generate private sector contribution from currently 40% and take it up to 65%, and also increase the direct foreign investment from 0.7% to 5.7%. That's amazing. Saudi Arabia has a population of approximately 35.6 million as per the latest survey, and approximately 58% of country's population is 35 years or younger than that. And 84% of this population is living in the urban areas. Well, these are pretty encouraging numbers for foreign companies and investors to invest in Saudi Arabia, as the appetite for growth in these sectors is just huge. Now, my colleague on webinar today, Anita Chalke, and her team will shed some more light on how the government's foreign investment strategy in sports and private entertainment sector is focusing on this. So I'll hand it over to Anita to take it forward from there on. Over to you, Anita.
Thank you so much, Khurram. Thank you for the introduction. Well, hello and welcome, everyone. It's my pleasure to be with you today. So I would like to cover topics that are important from foreign investment perspective, and would like to share some key information about entertainment and sports sectors that will help you to strategize your fully operational entity. So the transformation of entertainment and sports sector in Saudi Arabia is significant. There is a huge demand from people of Saudi for entertainment, and they want to see different places. And this is a great time for any investor from any business to explore these business opportunities in Saudi. Through Saudi Arabia's vision, which is 2030, the government is intending to improve the government policies and implement a number of key initiatives and regulations for local and international investors. So Saudi authorities and agencies are creating partnerships with international entertainment and sports corporation. And there are few key upcoming projects that I feel that as an investor or would like to do business in Saudi should know about and explore. So one of the project is called as Kadia Entertainment City. So it is one of the mega project and the capital of entertainment, sports, and the art. So it offers, again, numerous opportunities for all investors, contractors, suppliers, including strategic capital and infrastructure partners to incorporate themselves in Saudi, including healthcare as well. So if you are the supplier and would like to join the list, so I would encourage you to visit Kadia supplier portal and register yourself, set up your profile, list down your products and services, and that's how you can, okay, sorry, could you move to this next slide, please? Thank you so much. So sorry, I was talking about the registration on portal. So that will actually give an opportunity for investors to register as a supplier and make their portfolio. That will allow them to participate in bid and tenders, the government bid and tenders. The other project that I would like to emphasize is on the Red Sea project. So it is one of the 14 mega project, and it aims to become one of the world's best dive site. So phase 1 is nearly completion in this year, and the Red Sea Development Company offers individuals and service providers the opportunity to work and become their partners. So they are welcoming all the experienced investors to work with them and develop the city. You can discover many more projects, such as the King Salman Park and Amala project. You can also discover, in addition to that, there was significant initiative taken to boost the economy, such as cinema and there are women driving license, and there are a tourist visa that was introduced recently. A number of recreation and sports events are being planned. Could we move to next slide, please? Thank you. So the Ministry of Investment of Saudi Arabia, which is called as MISA. So you will be hearing more frequent about the MISA. So through MISA, the aim is to empower investors to access investment opportunities and providing them with facilities, flexibilities, and other services. It is possible to own 100% ownership of companies by expat or foreign entities. So the Ministry of Investment of Saudi Arabia, MISA, is basically providing opportunities through cross-government investment ecosystem. So they support businesses throughout their investment journey, such as preparing field visits or preparing logistics and reservations and coordinating meetings with the different government agencies and related parties. They also offer all assistance from researching a suitable locations, if you require a legal advice, and coordinating with the competent authority. This is the body, or this is a government agencies that is going to support you to ensure the investment journey is as smooth as possible. I would like to cover one more topic, which is the regional headquarter. So in this topic, companies that want to participate in contracts with Saudi Arabia government sooner or later, or state-backed institution, should consider to set up their Middle East headquarter in Saudi Arabia. The kingdom is basically aiming to do business with companies who have their integrated operation in Saudi and to manage the efficiency and excellence. They would like to see the C-level executives located in Saudi Arabia and managing the business. We also see that Riyadh will be the predominant city to set up a regional headquarter. So it is going to be it will be considered as a business capital of the city. Well, about the National Classification for Economic Activities, which is ISEC, this is how we term it, is internationally recognized system to categorize the commercial activities. So in this system, any foreign entities have to comply with ISEC classification. So when you apply for a new foreign investment license, the business activities are also mentioned in your article of association and CR by law. So while selecting ISEC code or business activity, be informed about the additional approvals that will be required eventually, the impact of Saudiization, and etc. So you can have a deep understanding of choosing the business activity and the following steps as a company that you will need to take. I would also like to cover some form of legal entities here. You may practice various activities by establishing its legal entity in a form of LLC or a branch or a one-person company or joint stock. There are additional licensing structure such as temporary license or a TSO office. Depending on your requirement and your business model, you can consider choosing appropriate type of company structure. Right. Can we move to next slide, please? Thank you so much. So, well, I'm going to pass it is over to my colleague, Ms. Maha, to share practical information about how and what you should know about the specific sector of entertainment and sports. Over to you, Maha. Thank you.
Thank you, Anita. Thank you all for joining us. It's a pleasure to be with you today. As Anita and Khurram highlighted before, that the Saudi government in implementation of 2030 vision has paid much attention to create investment ground outside the oil sector in the same way that guarantees the improvement of quality of life in Saudi Arabia and providing the chance for all the parties, whether they are individual citizens or residents, also the foreign companies, to participate in the Saudi investment. For that purpose, Saudi government has launched the Quality of Life program on May 2018. The Quality of Life program has two fundamental axes. The first one is developing the lifestyle in Saudi Arabia, while the second one is improving the infrastructure for the new investment. And we are now going to concentrate on the entertainment and the sports sector as the two main sectors in the investment, the new investment approaches in Saudi Arabia. Quality of Life program has already succeeded in expanding the horizons of entertainment and sports sector through specified governmental entities, which has been established specifically for these sectors. These authorities, as shown in the slides, are the General Entertainment Authority, the Public Investment Fund, the Saudi Entertainment Venture, and the Saudi Convention Dinner Authority, Ministry of Sports, and NAFIS portal. And the role of each one of these will be highlighted in the upcoming slides. But speaking of the fundamental axis, and since one of the fundamental axes for the Quality of Life program is improving the infrastructure of the new investment, so the government has allocated an amount of $57 billion for the entertainment field, in addition to an amount of $670 million for sport fields. And by utilizing these amounts, as per the plan prepared and implemented by the Saudi government, it is anticipated that the participation of these sectors in the national income of Saudi Arabia will increase to 4.2 by year 2025 only. Major part of such participation will be available for foreigner investors for sure, because the Saudi endeavors aim to open the door widely for foreign investors to start their business in Saudi Arabia, or to expand their existing business to the Saudi market. And it has to be mentioned that the statistics confirmed already that the foreign participation in the entertainment sector will raise to be 5.7 of the national income after not exceeding a percentage of 0.7% before implementation of 2030. And can we move to the next slides, please? Okay, this success we are talking about, we can already see and recognize currently, since issuing the Quality of Life program, Saudi Arabia hosted a huge number of the international events, either in entertainment sector or the sports sector. And starting with the entertainment sector, there are a couple, or there are just example for the events hosted by Saudi Arabia within the last couple of years. I can start with Riyadh season, which has been launched in 2019 for the first time. And after being suspended in 2020 due to the COVID restriction, it has been again resumed in October 2021. And it should be noted that more than 280 companies, whether foreign companies or Saudi companies, has participated in implementing such a huge event. Also, we can find in Ventura, which is a kids playground, started only in Riyadh and then expanded to Abha and Jeddah, and it's planned to be rolled out all over Saudi Arabia to become a tourism destination. Also, we can find Evolution Dinosaurs, which is mainly based on a unique technology, giving the experience of life-size animatronic dinosaurs, and it has been implemented through multiple technology companies. Not only the entertainment events, as you can see, there is a huge sports event have been hosted in Saudi Arabia, like Formula One and Formula E, which was a unique experience in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia hosted the international motor racing event Formula One in 2021, after the success achieved hosting Formula E starting from 2018 in Diriyah. And Diriyah also was the destination for hosting the international tennis tournament in December 2019. And this all was a successful events and investment occurred in Saudi Arabia. And currently, there are multiple projects undergoing in Saudi Arabia, which is already opened for the foreign investors, like the Kadia project, which has mentioned before by my colleague Anita. It's an integrated project aimed to be a global tourism destination. It is implemented on a total site area of 367 square kilometer, and it's only 45 kilometers away from the heart of Riyadh city, which make it a huge investment opportunity, including entertainment zone, sports zone, resort zone. And we can also see that on the plan, there's the Olympic Village, which will be a combined destination for all the sports around the world. Can we move to the next slide, please? Thank you. Okay, now, and knowing that the Saudi market is a very promising market, the important question is how to join the Saudi market, how to be eligible to perform the activities, whether in the entertainment sector or the sports sector in Saudi Arabia. The main answer of this question and the first step of your journey in Saudi Arabia is to obtain the suitable investment license from MISA. So the suitable license will be based on the selected activity out of ISAC system that has been mentioned before. But for the entertainment and the sport, which is the main subject here, most of the activities convenient for these sectors require a type of license, which is the service investment license. Service investment license considered as the least restricted and the easiest license to be obtained from MISA, with no complicated requirements or condition. You can get it through an easy platform with a full support from MISA agents, and also there is no restriction or requirements regarding the capital. So MISA has also released and decreased the license fees to be 10,000 Saudi Riyal instead of 60,000 Saudi Riyal, which will be applied starting from the secondary year. This was a way to help out the investor to build a solid ground for their investment before being committed to paying the 60,000 Saudi Riyal starting from the second year. Can we change the slide, please? Okay, again, please. The slides again. Okay, thank you so much. Moving forward, and after finalizing and obtaining the suitable MISA license and getting your commercial registers and finalizing all the activation required for the secondary registration, which will be explained moving forward, the company will require to get some additional approval and license to be eligible for performing entertainment and sport activities. This license will be depending on the activities mentioned in the license and the commercial registers, but mainly for the entertainment sector, the additional approval should be obtained from the General Entertainment Authority, which already adopted an online portal facilitating the process to navigate the required license and applying for this license and until you obtain the final license, which happened within a time frame starting from immediate support and it's not exceeding 30 days. Also, some of the activities in the entertainment field may require an additional license from General Commission for audiovisual media, but it depends on your choice of the activities. Next slides, please. The next slide, please. Moving to the sports sector, as you can see, the situation is similar to the entertainment field. Also, the sports activities require service investment license with all the requirements we already discussed. But when it's come to the additional approval, the competent authority here is Ministry of Sports. And speaking of that, Ministry of Sport has recently introduced NAFIS portal. And NAFIS portal is a combined portal which provide the opportunity to get all the registration required for being eligible to participate in the sport field. Registering with Ministry of Sport, registering with Shumus portal, getting the municipality license, getting all the participation with all the federation, and finally getting your final license or approval to start your activities with the sport activity, the sports sector. And for elaborating the procedures in detail and all the steps you need to follow, my colleague Adnan Alhusaiyan, the legal associate and our main contact point of contact with the governmental authorities, will take you through a case study for starting a foreign business in Riyadh for the sports sector. Thank you, and over to you, Adnan.
Thank you, Maha. So as for the additional license, and the role of NAFIS portal, I thought the best way to explain it by giving an example case study. So let's assume a US investor heard about the Saudi women participation in sport. So he decided to establish a boxing and martial arts club for women. Sorry, could you move to the next slide, please? Yes, thank you. Let's assume a US investor heard about the Saudi women participation in sports. So he decided to establish a boxing and martial arts club for women. The club will be structured as LLC company to isolate the financial risk while maintaining full ownership. The capital contribution is determined by $100,000, and all the chosen ISAC activities require a license by the Ministry of Sport. So the investor initiated the first step, which is applying for the investment license. And he was successfully granted a one under the service category. Then he moved with the incorporation until he successfully got the commercial registration. And from this point, the company is considered incorporated on paper, but not yet operated, because it still needs to complete what is known as the secondary registration. And since this phase is quite lengthy, I will just explain it in detail in a separate slide. So after completing the secondary registration and securing the municipality license, here is NAFIS in handy. The portal will list specific compulsory standards that must be completed before granting the Ministry of Sport license. For example, boxing and martial arts clubs must hire at least 2 qualified boxing trainers and maintain separate training spaces beside other administrative requirements such as joining a boxing union or complying with the sports code of conduct and so on. After accomplishing all the requirements, the company can finally able to apply for the Ministry of Sport. And so on, the Ministry of Sport will appoint an agent to come and check the entity and the building. And if it met all the requirements, they will grant the Ministry of Sport license. So moving to the next slide. Now, as I mentioned before, when a foreign company is incorporated, it still needs to complete the secondary registration, or it's known as post-incorporation. This this basis basically consists of 6 tidy steps. The first step is activating the Chamber of Commerce or the COC account. This is the most essential step because it will be needed in all other secondary registration. Through the COC account, the company can initiate official letters that is attested electronically. It can be used to apply for any governmental portal or request or authorize anyone to act on behalf of the company to any other governmental institution. And because this step is very sensitive, it requires the general manager or the director to be physically present to authenticate his signature and activate the account. So that's why it's advisable that all general managers to book visa and come after they incorporate the company or get the commercial license. Moving to the next or the second step is, let's see, keep here. Moving to the second step is to register at all related HR portals, which are 3, Mudad, Qiwa, and Muqim. All these portals are subject to the HRSD department, and each has its own function, whether applying for visa, sponsorship, or residency permits, and most important is complying with the wage protection report. Third is enrolling at the social insurance or GUSI, where the company can manage labor contracts and indicate wages, allowances, and enforce employment contracts. Fourth is Tax and Custom Authority or ZATCA, which is used to upload the annual tax report or apply for tax return, whether it's related to VAT, income tax, or any other related taxes through the company's auditor. And by reaching the 5th step, the company should already have a physical office to register at the national address and obtain the municipality and civil defense licenses. Finally, opening a bank account from any local bank. And this considered the last step because most local banks will require proofs of all previous steps. It will require proof of tax, GUSI, national address, and even residency permits of the general manager. So by finalizing the above step, besides completing the additional approvals, if any, the company shall be ready to fully operate in the market. And from here, I give the lead to our regional manager, Ms. Anita Chalke, to explain what is the Nitaqat program and how it's important to comply with it. Thank you.
Right, so if we can move to next slide, please. Great, great. So, well, thank you, Maha and Adnan for the insightful information on practical knowledge. Well, I just wanted to make a point to all our listeners that I understand if the information could be overwhelming, but hang in there. Our goal is to enable you to provide with just the needed information to help you and make sure that your strategic decisions are made in time and it runs smoothly, and in your roadmap to incorporate your company in Saudi Arabia and the operational processes is as smooth as possible. There's one more important topic that I would like to touch base and make you familiar about this. It is called as a Netiquette system. So it is a very important topic. The program can also be called as a Saudiization. So in a simple layman term, it is a program where a private firm are classified into premium, green. In green, it could be high category, mid or low, and yellow and red. So Netiquette requires employers in private sector with over 9 employees to hire a certain percentage of Saudi national. And that depends on company's industry and the number of employees in the company. So companies with less than 10 employees are exempt from this zone, but you are still required to hire at least 1 Saudi national in any job role. Not necessary that he needs to be the general manager of the company or one of the board member or shareholder. you can appoint a Saudi national on any role. So in context of entertainment sector, and if your business activities are related to producing movies, or if it is a TV shows, or if it's going to be a sales profession that may also include ticket sales, your Saudi national ratio in the specific profession should be 100% to be compliant. So there are certain calculation and metrics guided by government system, which as and when you decide to incorporate your company in Saudi Arabia, do touch base on such subject. That will be really helpful for you. Well, there are certain recent version of Neticat system effective from 1st of December 2021 was issued with 3 new features. Well, the aim was to be a transparent vision for the next 3 years, and employer will be better to plan and recruit their manpower. So the second feature is basically to create a new linear formula for establishing and targeting Saudiization ratio. So it really simplifies and the design of the program and improves the client's experience by merging certain activities into small groups. So the aim or the Saudi government is likely to introduce additional reforms that will align with Vision 2030, a strategic plan to diversify Saudi's economy or to simplify investment and businesses to operate in Saudi Arabia. So yeah, so this is more or less about Neticat. It's a bigger subject. I'm sure as we go in deep dive, there are a lot of things to cover in this subject. If we can move to next slide, please. Thank you so much. Well, I would like to simplify the entire presentation into simple 6 steps that will be a kind of a roadmap, a simple steps to incorporate your company in Saudi Arabia. So number 1 is test the market by deploying your key workforce to Saudi Arabia. You can do it in a form like you can issue them a visit visa or a tourist visa, or even better through a professional employee organization, PEO. Understand the market, see the network agencies that are associated with your businesses. Thereafter, you can narrow down your business activities to be delivered, to be executed from your Saudi entity, and how that is going to impact on your taxation part, invoicing, and the overall operational process, and also consider the company structure and the workforce that is going to impact. So give a thought on this process when you make a plan. Thereafter, you can also, the third step could be decide on your company structure, whether the LLC or a branch or headquarter is appropriate for your business, and if you're going to be compliant if you decide any of this structure. So it's one of the first step, because the decision that you will be making in the beginning goes to long run. The incorporation process itself it's lengthy if it is not executed or not well planned. So ensure that you get information not only on the company license type, but the impact on the secondary registrations. Thereafter, I would suggest to make a budget for the cost and the timeline. We all know that we are going through a certain time of COVID situation, wherein the borders are closed at last minute, and many circumstances can cause delays. One of them could be like, I think Adnan was just mentioning about it in a previous slide. When you reach to a stage where you have to register general manager's signature at Chamber of Commerce, and that's how you proceed with the secondary registration. So you see the importance of visiting or traveling to Saudi of the signature person is available. So do consider your timeline. In my opinion, you can consider between 3 to 6 months timeline. Start your operation in that timeline. I am considering as a total project. It's not only about CR issuance or investment license issuance. I've considered the legalization procedure, certain decision factors. In my experience, I mean, we have supported many companies in incorporation, and the to and fro that we have gone through while deciding LLC is significant. So do consider timeline of 3 to 6 months. Thereafter, all you have to do is revisit your study and finalize your project. So that's it. I think if you cover this 5 topic in the beginning, you're good to go in execution, and I'm sure things will not go wrong. With that said, I would like to hand over the presentation to our host.
Wonderful. Well, I must say, the points, all of the points that you have brought up during your well thought out presentation are certainly, in my humble opinion, all quite salient. And I hope very much that our guests have been paying close attention to these issues. I can tell you that from my personal experience prior to the U.S.-Saudi Business Council, living and working at business development in the kingdom for 15 years, this is a very clear description of what to expect. And I think you've done a great job at describing potential issues.
Right.
Not following through or recognizing the relevance and the importance of any one of these issues can easily triple your 3 to 6 month timeline into a very long and arduous task. So that was very well done. We do have some questions. If it's all right with you and the team, I'd like to pose some of them, and you can answer them in as to whoever best feels suited, if that's all right.
Sure, not a problem.
Terrific. So the first question that I have here is, well, there's one, I'm looking in 2 different areas here. There's one that comes from an anonymous attendee that I think is a very salient question. Can a French company also apply to these business opportunities, or is exclusively a USA companies oriented?
Right.
Look, folks, the answer to that is yes, of course. Proven is an international company. They are a member of the U.S.-Saudi Business Council. So for a French company, unless you have offices here in the United States, you would not be able to participate with the U.S.-Saudi Business Council and utilize our efforts to assist you, but Proven certainly can. And I'm sure, and I don't want to speak for Proven, but I'm sure that they would welcome opportunities to assist companies from anywhere on the planet. If anyone wants to comment on that from Proven.
Yeah, I have a comment on that. Well, the description or the details which we have presented in this webinar are generic in nature, and they're not specific to any particular country, for example, America. We have lots of clients from European countries like France, Italy, Belgium, Sweden. So these programs are open for all the countries in the world. And yes, definitely French companies can benefit from these programs. And we as Proven can assist you with that too. Well said. Another question that's coming up here is to Proven. Are you aware of any government agencies that might be able to assist in finding qualified employees, Saudi employees? Again, I would like to answer if you allow me. Yes, government does have programs which help companies to find local talent, Saudi nationals. However, those programs are not specific to any particular sector. So if you're looking for any sector-specific resources, your best bet would be your own HR and talent acquisition team. Or again, companies like Proven, we do have a recruitment service which we offer, where we help companies find subject matter experts specific to a particular domain. We have loads of clients in the sports and entertainment industry, and we help them find people Saudi nationals or expats residing in Saudi Arabia or outside to fulfill their open roles. So Saudi government entities do offer some support, but if you're looking for any particular niche, you'll have to rely on some multiple sources, other than just government agencies.
Excellent. Thank you. With regard to, I'm sorry, someone want to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to add what Khurram just mentioned, that there are certain programs as well in Saudi Arabia, like the Mir program, where the talented and emerging Saudi national are registered or looking for a job. It's a brilliant program where the more details we can share it, because it's a specific program where you can hire qualified professions from the program, and to certain time period, the government will pay the salary, and you can ensure that the talent that you're going to hire is well qualified, and then you can retain them on a permanent employment contract. It's a brilliant program which is launched by Saudi government.
That's a great point, Anita, and thank you for bringing that up, because this is a concern for especially American companies, or any companies, but from our perspective, American companies as well. We understand that there is a Saudiization requirement. How do we even begin to find the qualified individuals, or do we just have to, hire Saudis for the sake of? So, and it is a good program, and it is very effective. I know it well. Thank you for adding that in. With respect to licensing, the question here is regarding the entertainment sector licenses. Does each entertainment event require a separate license, or if you get a license as an event organizer, will that suffice as an umbrella license?
I will be happy to answer this question if allowed. Okay, actually both type of license are available with General Entertainment Authority. So if the investors is already registering himself as a general event organizer, and this is one of the activities mentioned in their license and their CR, so they will obtain this type of license. It will be one-time license registered with their company, and then they can proceed with organizing the event. However, some events require to take a certain additional approval before the launching of the event, and thus most of these license will be with immediate support. So taking in consideration that you will be combined with a schedule and launching date for the event. So there is two types of license provided by the General Entertainment Authority, for the one time and for the separate event, for each event specifically.
Excellent. Thank you very much. There was a question here with regard to timeline, but you adeptly answered that to a 3 to 6 month period. The only thing that I'd like to add from our experience from the U.S.-Saudi Business Council is that things can always take a little bit longer than you planned on. So you need to be eyes wide open going into this, especially if you've never had experience in the kingdom. You can find an organization like Proven or the U.S.-Saudi Business Council to assist you through these processes, but there are always things that do come up that you need to be prepared for. So approach it with patience and with a perspective of you're ready to learn the process, and most importantly, the business culture, because things can take a little bit longer, but you've answered this one already. So we'll move on to the next. Okay, this is interesting. Are there, as these are new industry sectors in many respects, and as well as the managing authorities go, are they also new, the managing authorities? And are the licensing and other requirements all subject to frequent changes and adjustments? So if we're starting out and we're playing under a certain set of requirements, in 6 months' time or a year's time, have you in your experience seen that some of the rules of the road have changed during that process? even in that short period of time.
I'll have initial comment on this. Well, I'm living in Saudi for 18 years and I don't get much time to watch movies, but there was a time when I used to drive 500 kilometers to Bahrain to watch a movie in cinema. And so some of these sectors like entertainment and sports sectors are unprecedented because there was no thought of those things actually. I saw a Brazil versus Argentina game in Riyadh, and I would have never thought I would see Messi and Ronaldo's playing in Saudi Arabia. So you can imagine these sectors are opening up, and it's part of 2030 vision where, you know, the appetite of the youth, as I mentioned in my initial slide, that we've got lots of youth in Saudi and they want all these things. We recently had a concert with all the leading singers and DJs, and all those were performing live in Riyadh. And that was quite a scene over here. Somebody like 5 years back, maybe 8 years back, never would have thought that. So yeah, these things are new, and that's why there's a lot of scope for growth in these particular areas. And for now, government is trying to make or to facilitate companies to come into Saudi Arabia and host those events and contribute towards this. So I see a lot of potential in this domain, in these sectors over here.
I would absolutely agree with you, Khurram. I mean, I think everyone here on the panel would agree that even as recently as 3 years, you mentioned 5 years, if 3 years ago you were to suggest to me that we'd be able to all be standing together in an open air arena in the city of Riyadh and watch Beyonce or Usher or 50 Cent perform live, I would have said it's not only impossible, but I think that you might be, you know, a little bit half crazy because it's never going to happen. So these things have changed. And to add to what you're saying, you know, with the advent of the construction of at least 6 entertainment and sports arenas that I know off the top of my head, there might be small changes as they work through this, but it's happening. It's now a complete pillar of development in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So I would agree with you. There might be small changes as they move through this because it is new. But as far as whether or not if it's going to happen, no, it's not if, it's not when, it's happening. So
Yeah, it's now.
more about when.
That's correct, Delano. I mean, you rightly mentioned that this is the time, and I think working with Saudi market for more than 5 years, I've seen the transition from the day one till now, and it's really fast. That's all I can mention here, and a positive move in every domain. I think so. A few years back, when I started working in Saudi immigration, there were challenges about the language barrier, cultural issues. But in today's date, if you speak to, if you contact any government offices, there are a well-qualified English-speaking staff who communicate in a very professional manner, and the documentation and the guidelines shared by the governments are also well defined than the previous years. So the revolution is significant.
One last comment on the same subject. Sorry, Mr. Roosevelt. I mean, recently Saudi Arabia have been awarded the Asian Games for 2034. You know, so Riyadh will be hosting Asian Games in 2034. And I've heard that they are already lining up a bid for FIFA World Cup as well, probably down the line. So imagine the things which these sort of sporting events, the supplementary business lines and the boost to economy these sporting events will bring to the country. So definitely, you know, these sort of sectors are here to stay, and they'll only progress and move forward.
Absolutely. Anita, also thank you for your comment. Yeah, that was one of my next questions was, what about an American company that is not prepared to operate in Arabic? Are there English-speaking people, and are all of these forms that they'll have to be working on, are they also printed in English? And I think that you aptly described or confirmed that yes, they are.
Well, just to add again to that point, not only they have documents in English, but certain measures taken by government agencies are significant. For example, recently, a government has issued that you can inquire your company and corporation queries through Saudi embassies. So the government reforms and regulations and then the training programs are in line with their vision 2030 to ensure that the platform of Saudi government or the business platform is open globally. And the barriers has been identified, mechanism has been placed. So now is the time, how you rightly mentioned, and this is the time.
I wholeheartedly agree. Anita, you and I seem to be communicating here over the brainwaves. And I assure everybody these are not set up. But this next question has to do with exactly what Anita was talking about. This question says to your team, to the proven team, you've described a number of ministries and authorities who have a hand in building up the sports and entertainment sector. If I'm a US company and I have a sports or entertainment related product or service, if I might be a sports management, individual athlete manager, or you name it, related to all of this, and I want to explore the Saudi market, is there a particular ministry that I should go to their door first? Because there seems to be quite a few that I might have to involve with.
Okay, I would be happy to answer this. Mainly MISA, which is the Ministry of Investment Saudi Arabia, will be the combined platform to start the business. Through MISA, you'll have a clear vision about the activities you need to perform, what type of IDIC activities you need to be reflected, what type of license you need to get. And moving forward, after you receive your MISA license, everything will be just logical to get the commercial register with the same activities. MISA can inform you with all the additional approval, all the additional license you need to get. If there is anything to be obtained before the license or after the license, what is the right step to apply for such approval? What are the portals you need to search on? What are the advisors you need to ask? And so I will say, if there is one governmental entities you can knock their door, is MISA, of course.
I wholeheartedly agree. It was very well said. But to that end, Maha, how would somebody go about reaching out to MISA? Are you aware of their website? Where are they located? Only in New York or DC?
Yes, actually, MISA is open for creating account with your information, whether you don't have to have a Saudi ID or a Iqama resident permanent ID to log in and create an account. You can just create an account with your passport number, with your email and phone number, wherever you are. So joining the platform for MISA, you can navigate the website. There is all the information needed. You can send inquiries through email, and they are responding in a very timely manner. And also, the MISA have one of their communication channel is an international phone number. You can just dial them and ask for speaking with one of the agents speaking English, and they're gonna provide you with all the support you need.
Outstanding, outstanding. Well, we are coming up to the top of the hour. We're about 2 minutes out, and I think that we owe it to our guests today and attendees to be timely in wrapping this up. So with that, Khurram, any last thoughts that you'd like to share before I bring this together to a close?
Yeah, sure. Well, thank you, Mr. Roosevelt, for hosting us, and I thank all the attendees to spare some time and listen to this informative webinar which we assembled for you guys. We, as a Proven, are a local service providing company. We can assist you. We can hold your hands in the process of registering your entity or any of the services you may look for in Saudi Arabia. We can bridge the gap between you and your local entity of future, and help you with in maneuvering this whole process on your behalf. And if you have any follow-up questions or anything which you like a post webinar sort of a comment or question, you can write to U.S. Business Council, and we'll be happy to help and support and answer that on our behalf, and we'll be happy to work with them in answering those questions for you. Thank you very much for your time.
Wonderful. Well, and also to all of our friends that are attending today, the PowerPoint presentation will be available on our website in case there's something that you would like to go back and review again, and also the ability to contact directly to Proven. Either call us or just go on our website and the information will be there for you. I hope that you've all found the presentation informative and helpful. I think it was an excellent overview of the government players, their roles, and emerging regulatory issues that you and we all need to be aware of as we position ourselves to take advantage of opportunities in the sports and entertainment space. The Council, of course, is ready to involve ourselves in working with companies seeking to enter this section, and you may look forward to a number of other webinars like this, getting down into the deep grass, as they say, with regard to specific opportunities within sports sector and entertainment sector. And we will continue as your conduit into those specific areas. I look forward to more of these programs together. Until then, I hope that you all remain happy, remain healthy, and may God bless. With that, thank you all for attending. Until our next webinar. Thank you.